The Pokemon anime just gave fans the biggest whiplash of all time. It took something insane it had been building up for a while and completely turned it on its head, threw it out the window and said, no thank you. But what a relief that the rest of Pokemon Horizons episode 115 made up for it. So like and subscribe if you enjoy, and now let's dive into my review to talk all about it. The episode began at the Blueberry Academy with a battle between Anne and Lacy, the Blueberry Elite Four member, and firstly I just want to say that Anne still being so important and prevalent in Horizons genuinely feels like a pinch me moment every time she appears. Back in the first couple of episodes, we all fell in love with her character, but we expected her to be forgotten about when Liko joined the Horizon Voltacklers. I'm pretty sure most of us didn't expect to see her much anymore after that, so now seeing that the writers are still keeping her around as much as they can, that really does go to show that either they love her as much as we do, or they actually heard us when we went crazy for her character back then. Either way, it's so dope, dude, and it makes me happy. The battle between Anne and Lacy really showed off just how incredible Lacy is at battling as an Elite Four member. Her grass knot tricks and powering up her Plusle and Minun through their Lightning Rod and Volt Absorb abilities, they were so impressive. But that doesn't mean that Anne was made to look weak. Her Samurott and Sandslash did put up a great fight too. It's clear how much she's grown as a trainer. But unfortunately, we didn't get to see the winner of the battle because the episode then cut to our heroes arriving at the Blueberry Academy. For the first time in the whole of Horizons, we're in the Unova region, baby! And that means the only regions left that our heroes haven't been to in Horizons are Sinnoh and Alola. I mean, Sinnoh got plenty of love in Journeys, and we all know why they're scared to show off Alola, right? So after a very interesting brand new opening theme for the arc, which I'll be talking about real soon, our heroes bid farewell to the adult members of the Rising Voltacklers while they go to the Blueberry Academy. Goodbye adult members. It was nice seeing you for like 2 seconds in the previous arc. I'm just kidding. But I do really hope they play a bigger part in the story in the future, because getting them all back together in Mega Voltage, just for them immediately to take a back seat again, that's a bit of a shame. Our heroes then meet the Blueberry Principal, Cyrano, and they're excited to see Briar to learn more about Terrapagos and to get their training on too. Briar tells them that she'll meet him tomorrow, but for now, Lacy is here, dude, and they all introduce themselves. I absolutely love how perfectly they nailed Lacy's character in this episode. Not only is her obsession with cute Pokemon crystal clear, leading to her fussing Cap and Cap having a sneezing fit as always, but the writers also got her hand gestures and her quirkiness down from the games perfectly, and she's even the first to appear and the one to begin guiding our heroes around the academy, just like she does in the games too. Lacy explains the Blueberry Terrarium in a really cute chibi way, and then our heroes begin exploring all of the biomes. Man, the writers and animators absolutely nailed their portrayal of the terrarium. It evokes the exact same feeling that it does in the games. Part of me wonders though, if we're gonna spend loads of time in the Blueberry Terrarium in this arc, you know, the place where there's a whole device, a whole mechanic to become your Pokemon, then why did we get that episode in Kitakami about Roy becoming Crocalor? I wonder why they didn't just save it for this arc instead. Either way, Liko is fascinated by the terrarium core in the sky because it's all terastalized and crystally, and I'm guessing that's going to lead to some interesting stuff with Briar and Pagogo in the future. Maybe it could be used to power up Pagogo or something. But meanwhile, Alt gets distracted by Terra Crystals and he gets lost from the group. And man, at this point I was thinking, are we really about to get another episode in the Pokemon anime about a little green dragon guy getting lost at the worst time in the Unova region? Was our boy Axew getting lost in the Unova League not enough? But thankfully, no, it doesn't last very long. Our heroes then reunite with Nemona and Anne, who feel like they're going to be a bigger part in this story arc. And of course, Roy and Nemona want to battle immediately. It's in their blood, man. So it's a double battle, Lucario and Crocalor versus Pawmot and Decidueye. Yeah, Nemona got a Decidueye like in the games. And one of the main things I loved about this battle was how in an episode airing on Halloween, that the main star of the battle was Decidueye's ghost-type moves. Like seriously, it battled in such a cool, ghostly way, you know? So when Crocalor attacked, Decidueye dodged it with Phantom Force, pushing Lucario into Pawmot's punch, and then Roy's next attacks are dodged by Decidueye's aerial maneuvers too, leading to it clashing with Lucario. But what's really interesting is that then, when Pawmot uses Dig, Crocalor, while trying to locate Pawmot underground, the egg on his head begins twitching and shaking like it's about to hatch. Like the power within is just bursting to break free. Now at first, I thought maybe this could be Crocolaw trying to use Aura to locate Pawmot underground, because we saw a similar thing happen to Crocolaw's head egg during the Aura scene in the last episode. But now I'm thinking maybe this is a clear sign that Crocolaw is on the absolute verge of evolving. The egg on his head is just shaking to hatch to evolve into Skeledirge. Bonus points if it does happen against Decidueye too, 2 ghost-type starter Pokemon. So Lucario and Decidueye continue sparring, but then Roy does the dirtiest trick in the book by making Lucario zoom behind Decidueye and use it as a meat shield. So Decidueye takes the brunt of Pawmot's attack, and that's crazy, man. It's like when Possessed Ash told Sceptile to use the referee as a meat shield back in the Battle Frontier. Obviously nowhere near that bad, but it had a similar vibe and that made me laugh. What a cool strategy to turn Nemona's own Pokemon against each other though. Decidueye was pretty gagged, you could tell by the look on his face. But then Decidueye quickly brought back the ghostly Halloween vibes with Spirit Shackle, trapping Lucario in place by its shadow, and that bought Pawmot the time to charge up a huge double shock, smashing into Lucario and knocking it out. Now I have to say, this might have been some of the biggest whiplash I've ever felt from the Pokemon anime. Like, genuinely. To spend 3 whole flashback episodes bigging up Roy's Lucario as this powerful, mystical, legendary Yellow Blast, known by all of Lumiose City, but no one ever able to defeat it because it's just too unstoppable and powerful, and to spend so long focusing on Roy and Crocolaw having to put everything they've ever had into combining their auras just for the chance to take it down, and then to see the Yellow Blast moving around at the speed of light with so much skill and precision, hitting with force we've never seen before, accompanied by the most incredible, powerful looking yellow visuals ever, topped off with some of the most beautiful mastery of aura in the whole Pokemon anime. To spend 3 whole episodes looking at Lucario in that light, for Lucario to be portrayed in that way, just for that same Lucario in the first episode of the next arc to get absolutely cooked immediately? Dude, the whiplash is real. Don't get me wrong, in this battle Lucario didn't look weak, he did still put up a fight against a champion, and I'm not saying that Lucario should never lose, but man, it just felt like a totally different Pokemon from the flashbacks in this episode. Where were the cool yellow movement visuals? Where was all the precision and skill? Where was the unstoppable aura usage? Where was the bond with Roy elevating them to another level? What happened to the legendary Yellow Blast we knew just a couple of episodes ago? Going from that Lucario to this Lucario in the span of 1 week is crazy whiplash. What a stark switch up in how they portrayed him. They built him up to be so peak in the flashbacks, just to immediately revert him back to how he was in Mega Voltage. But I guess this is kind of a recurring issue in Pokemon Horizons, making certain characters look way too overpowered just to hype them up as something crazy, and then always having to nerf them shortly after so the story makes sense. It's a shame, but it's not the end of the world. Anyway, I've got to praise Nemona though in this battle. Her strategies and teamwork, using Decidueye's Spirit Shackle to hold Lucario in place so Pawmot could charge up and hit a big attack, that was super impressive. And now because of Double Shock, Pawmot lost its electric typing, so Crocolaw's Stomping Tantrum is less effective too. It's so clear she thought all of this through. She really does feel like a champion here. So Roy terastalizes Crocolaw and Nemona terastalizes Pawmot, but immediately Roy falls into the same trap again. Crocolaw tries to speed up with Flame Charge, but Decidueye's Spirit Shackle just holds him into place, and that allows Pawmot to charge up all of its energy for an immense Focus Punch, smashing into Crocolaw with Terra boosted power, knocking it out. I've seen a lot of people kind of mad or frustrated about that result, about Roy losing, but for me I think it's okay. Nemona's meant to be the most powerful champion in the whole Paldea region. She should feel that strong, you know? And I still think it was a mistake to make Roy defeat Nemona in the previous arc, so at least allowing Nemona to win here puts him back on a level playing field. It gives Roy more room to grow, more reason to keep training, probably through this training arc. And then that means when Roy and Nemona have their big final battle at the end of Horizons, it'll be way more equal and way more hype to see who comes out on top at the end. Plus, I'm pretty sure that losing against Nemona here is going to inspire Crocolaw to lock in, get stronger, and evolve, so then he can defeat Nemona in the future. And hey, maybe Roy training with Drayton could play a part in that because Drayton is watching the whole battle with great interest. Unfortunately, Nemona now has to return to Paldea, but then Lacy is revealed to be a member of the Elite Four here, and our heroes are absolutely stunned by that. Roy forcing ult to bow was especially hilarious. Then Drayton appears too, introducing himself and revealing himself as another Elite Four member, and the way he bantered with Lacy felt so much like the games. I love how accurate the characters are feeling. Then the episode ended with our heroes deciding to stay at the Blueberry Academy, training under Lacey and Drayton, with the goal of learning about Terrapagos and getting stronger. So overall, this episode was a really well executed introduction to everything Blueberry Academy. The way it managed to update us on Nemona's growth, Anne's growth, and set a new path for our heroes into motion, while also introducing the Blueberry characters and the entire setting of the Academy. That's a lot to pull off in just one episode, but they did a brilliant job. Like I said throughout the video, the portrayals of Lacey and Drayton felt so accurate and fun. Anne versus Lacey was good, Roy versus Nemona was good, and while I do have an issue that Roy's Lucario felt so average compared to how insanely legendary he was built up to be in the flashback arc, I still really liked the episode overall. That whiplash wasn't enough to make me dislike it. I also think the episode did a great job of showcasing to our heroes that while they are strong trainers, they do still have plenty of room to grow, and that really did justify in an effective way why they would want to stay here at the Blueberry Academy. I'm going to be dropping another video in a couple of days all about the brand new opening theme and what I think it reveals about the future and possibly the ending of Horizons, along with other predictions and theories based on other information that's been revealed lately. So yeah, stay tuned for that, it's going to be a fun video. And let me know your thoughts on this episode below. Do you think it was a good first episode of the arc? Are you hyped for more? And be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, because we're nearly at 150k subscribers and that's bonkers, bro. Any little helps, you know? Thank you so much to all of my incredible channel members. That includes Fizz, Toten, Giscadia, Not Mini, Hope, Melissa, Shareborn, Pokesan, Jay. You guys are really awesome and I really appreciate you. And yeah, on that note, thank you all so much for watching and best wishes until we meet again.